meant, man.
Well, actually, I wanted to make it really intentional to show that, I'm a Red Wings fan and the Caps can kind of just, well, they can get swept 4-0 again like they did by the Wings back in the early 2000s. So.
Long time ago. The Red Wings actually are how I got into hockey. When I moved to Michigan, I wasn't really a big hockey guy. I lived in Michigan 18 to, I don't know, 26, 27, something like that. So almost nearly 10 years. And I mean, they sure do love their hockey there. I mean, I've been to the Joe, right? I mean, that's where they used to play over there. I mean, a new stadium
Yeah.
or
Hockey town for a reason. Now it's Little Caesars Arena, which doesn't have the same punch as Joe Louis.
Is that what they changed it to?
What's that?
Sure. I said, is that what they changed it to, Little Caesars?
Yeah, well, they built a new arena. They tore down the Joe. It's gone. They got Little Caesars Arena now, but it's still hockey town. Great place to go see hockey, man. Unfortunately, they finally, 26 years of making the playoffs straight had to go away eventually. So
at some point, right? I mean, you can't win every single time, but they certainly set a precedent there to do that, and that is an amazing franchise. I mean, we should maybe take some time and study what they did. I mean, 26 years to make the playoffs. That's impressive run. And that's, matter of fact, that goes along with what I was thinking about today. And so I'll start with you, though. I'm curious, what is the best thing that you've seen or read? And I'll come back to the Red Wings because it matches with what I was talking about.
Yeah, so the number one thing that I've seen in the last week is everyone getting back outside. It's really great to see the opportunity to have people go out and enjoy life and get some fresh air and kind of get their cars serviced. Actually was a big one. We had our place getting worked on yesterday where it's been I went to park Sylvia's car last night and there was 50 cars in the parking lot at Piedmont Tire and Auto. So it's good to just be outside and get back to some living.
Yeah, I think some people are trying to, be a little bit more, optimistic, and they are getting out there. I mean, we drove through, I was just picking up something to go, some food, and the parking lot at Wegmans was packed, and some of the stores that are down in that area, the shops down there. I mean, there were people out and about. We're still practicing social distancing. I'm still trying to stay red on COVID and what's happening. And we're starting to see a little bit of a spike, which, it doesn't surprise me based on, a lot of people out over the last couple of weeks with the current state of affairs in our country. But, COVID's a real thing, and we need to all be aware of it and continue to take precautions. And that's what we're doing here on the Nomis Group. But to some extent, it is nice to see people back out, and quote unquote living, human interaction. We weren't designed to necessarily be alone. So it was cool to see other people out there and at least smile.
Good energy out there for sure.
Yeah, totally. For me, the best thing that I read was something about success. It was saying massive success is an accumulation of small activities done consistently. And we have been talking about that, for a while, and one of the things we were just recently talking to our team about is that at some point, right, and we heard Bowman Kenny say this, at some point it stops being about skill and it starts being about consistency, right? How consistent can you show up and do the activities? How consistent can you deliver a great product to people? How consistent can you meet their expectations and exceed them? And that's what we've really been striving for here. We understand in order to have that big, massive success, it started with just little steps, which were you and me calling people, right? When we didn't have any deals, simple, we barely knew anyone in this area. And we just started with little steps like that and, closed the deal here or there. And now we've got this really cool team that we're going to get to introduce some people to here today and, closing hundreds of deals. It's pretty fantastic. So that was the biggest thing that I read that really stuck out that we need to continue to do. And I think a lot of people, especially during this COVID time, can do, which is focus on a few small activities that will allow that power of compounding to work over time.
Yeah, you don't want to get paralyzed by things that you can't really control. You've got a few things in front of you that you can do. Just go out and do them really well every day.
Yeah. So speaking of the few small things you can control, right? What's going on in the real estate market? What things can we control as buyers and sellers, and what should our people be thinking?
Yeah, so as we've continued to talk about week over week, it's inventory. We are finally getting some inventory coming around, and that is the biggest piece of news. Other than that, it's really the same stuff. People are able to go out and get some great loans. Rates are still really, really low. If you're a buyer looking, it's still a great opportunity, especially if you're a seller. Get out there and you can get top dollar for your home pretty quickly right now. So glad to see some inventory come around, and we'll see what the next 60, 90 days brings overall as people start to get out and about. And if we don't have another surge of COVID, it should continue to just push things in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? What do you account that surge in inventory to, and two, what do you see maybe over the next 3 to 4 months?
Yeah, the surge is because people are feeling more comfortable now. I mean, there's a little bit of, the phases, right, of being able to get back out and about. So it's just people that have thought about moving are able to kind of embrace the idea of doing it now. So putting their home on the market. And what do we see over the next few months? I think we're just going to see steady growth. There's continued good movement. We've seen a 5.7% increase since April of home values, which is huge.
Yeah.
And so as long as the inventory keeps pushing in the right direction, I think we're just going to see a steady seller's market all the way into the fall.
What obstacles or issues are you seeing out there for buyers or sellers?
Yeah, for buyers, it's just inventory and competition, but that's really where you educate yourself to know what you have to take away to make sure you can win the deal and get the right house for you. Obstacles as sellers, I think it's really all about condition. I think you really have to put yourself in a position to have your home show really, really well to get as many buyers in as possible and get the most money that you can.
Yeah, we talk a lot about, the reason, a relationship fails is really one of two reasons: mismanaged expectation or lack of communication. I'm curious, in terms of expectations, are you seeing sellers who maybe are having a little bit unreasonable expectation in terms of like price points and maybe potential appraisal issues? And what are you seeing with appraisers? Because I feel like those guys are in a tough position, right? You have low inventory, you have a surging market, people want top dollar, supply and demand, you get 7 offers. I mean, the property is worth what someone's willing to pay for it. We tell people that, except when an appraiser thinks it's not worth that. So, what are you seeing with that? And is this a big issue or these isolated issues?
Have you ever been in a market where there weren't unrealistic sellers out there? I really don't know that we've ever been.
This one time when I wasn't even in the market and didn't know that'd be about the only time. But since I've gotten into real estate, they all want it top dollar.
Yeah, we always see sellers that come on and want, top dollar for a home that isn't in top dollar condition. And that's really what it comes down to. And that's why we're so good at it, is because we educate people the right way to make sure that they get what their home is worth. Overall. So yeah, of course, there's definitely homes on the market that are overpriced for the condition that they're in, and they're not going to get the top dollar offer because our buyers are educated. They're not going to overpay for a home unless they know they're overpaying for a reason. And lots of times those reasons are because the homes are in immaculate condition and there are that many buyers coming to compete. So going over a list price by $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000 to get your dream home, it depends on your specific situation, but a lot of people are saying, I'm fine with that because I'm going to live here for a very, very long time. So paying that additional funds is okay. As far as appraisers are concerned, yeah, I mean, we're running into appraisal issues. Sure, you have homes that are going over the list, and people oftentimes are trying to not waive the appraisal contingency. So when it's not waived and it comes back below the sales price because the last 6 months of sales of similar homes don't dictate that price that they got. Mm-hmm. It's a negotiation point, and we've been working through that. There are a lot of times right now where buyers are waiving the appraisal contingency. They are saying, if the home doesn't appraise for $650,000, I'm willing to make up the difference. And we just make sure that you're comfortable with that too. So that's what we've been working through.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you nailed it there. Anything else in terms of the real estate market that our buyers or sellers should know?
No, just know that it's education more than anything right now. Know what you can do, know what you can get, and just be smart about what's going on in the market. And that's why you call us, to get the right information.
Yeah, you can also check our YouTube channel out, Nomus Group International. We've got a ton of buyer and seller videos and a little bit of intro into the market and what to expect when you're getting your home ready to sell. Some things that you can expect in terms of the buyer process. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nomus Group and check out some videos there. So
yeah, it's a lot of how-tos, right? How to buy and how to sell. Yeah,
it's the big thing there, right? That's what everybody's looking for. Well, Ryan, we've got a pretty cool show today, if I do say so myself. We have had some pretty amazing guests over the months that we've started doing this, and these guests here today, we have multiple guests, and I'm super excited to start to bring them on. As I do, maybe you can start to introduce them and tell them tell the audience a little bit about who they are, and maybe have them introduce themselves here. So add a few of these people.
Standing at 5'4", coming out of, yeah, we'll do that.
I love it.
Hey, what's going on? We got a couple amazing people we're going to bring on here. So I'm going to do a quick intro around the room, and then we'll go one by one into it. Does that sound good? Awesome.
Sounds great.
All right. So Shelby Ford, say hi.
Hello. Hello.
So hello, cheerio. Shelby is our listing coordinator. She handles everything from our listing perspective to get them up and running, marketing, lockboxes, signs, photography, staging, asking everything you love about your home and more to make it shine. So give a warm welcome to Shelby Ford. Thank you, Shelby.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. And then we got Luke Simon. Luke is our lead coordinator. This guy handles all of the intake from start to finish. Whether you call a question, you need a quick hand, or if someone has no idea about what real estate is like, Luke will take your call and make sure that we get you to the right person. So Luke is amazing. Say what's up, man. Yeah, always on the phone. Great. Yeah. Right beside Luke, we've got Matt Sutherland, who is our client concierge. Matt is always there for everything you need related to front walk to the back gate. Anything at all, Matt's always available. He calls you and asks how you're doing. He also asks, who do you know that we need to talk to today? So Matt is fantastic. Say, hey, Matt.
Hey.
Awesome. And then we've got Jessica Reichart. She is one of our newer additions. She has been with the team for quite some time in our investment side of the business and is now stepping into our residential side of the business to help with, gosh, anything we can throw at you to help, whether it's cleaning up the drive to getting the HR stuff going. Jess has been an amazing addition. So say, hey, Jess.
Hi.
Fantastic. And then we've got Masih Exir. He is an agent on the Nomis Group. He is in production like Phil and I. He is young and hungry, goes out and gets everything he can all the time. Very dependable guy, available to take everyone out to see homes whenever needed. And we're really looking forward to see what he grows in the next year or so with us. So say hey, Missy.
Hello, everybody.
And then we've got Samantha Moffett, or Sam. Sam has been with us for a few months. She is our contract to close coordinator. So once you go under contract, Sam coordinates everything until we close on the home. So she coordinates all the title company stuff, all the inspections, all of the contingency timelines to make sure we hit those and make sure you have a smooth transaction from start to finish. Say hey, Sam.
Hi.
And then last but not least, you know Phil and I.
Yeah, so what we thought we'd do today, we thought we would bring you a number of different things that you could do in the DMV area that are all within a 2 to 3 hour drive. And so who better than people who have lived it and experienced it? And so if you're coming into DC, into the DMV, we call the DMV, it's DC, Maryland, Virginia. If you're coming into the DMV area, these are places you could go visit. Or if you live in the DMV area, these are all drivable and things that you could do right now during COVID, post-COVID, whenever. And so we'd love to just, again, provide some value and some things that you guys can do. So Ryan, you want to kind of roll it around and we'll go from there.
Sure. So we'll just, I guess I'll start and then we can go from there. So one of the places that we go all the time is Silver Lake, right here in Haymarket. And we go over there probably once every couple weeks, and they have a wide open picnic area. If you want to have just some food out there, you can do that. There's lots of trails to bike on. There is a lake that people fish in all the time, and they have some canoes and things like that if you want to rent that. We fly kites. Just a really laid back spot to go have a good afternoon that is free. So yeah, love it. Silver Lake Park in Haymarket is fantastic. And then another place that we go to is called Fountainhead Regional Park. That is off 123 going towards Occoquan. And that is the Fairfax County Freshwater Reservoir. So they have motorized boats that you can rent for like 20 bucks. So if you want to take your sweetheart out for an afternoon of just getting on the water and kicking back, or if you want to go out in the morning with your kids and fish, you can do that. And there's great fishing out there. There's also a lot of piers. People play volleyball and picnic out there. There's bike trails, I think like big bike trails too. So you can go up and down the mountains quite a bit. You can hike up there all day long if you want. So those are two places that we go on a regular basis. I highly recommend to anyone that just wants to get outside and have a good time. So Fountainhead Regional Park off of 123 in Fairfax, and Silver Lake Park here in Haymarket.
I love it. Shelby, what do you got for us?
I've been doing with my kids is geocaching. I don't know who's heard of it and who hasn't. It's kind of like a treasure hunt with your kids. You
Awesome.
can do it as an adult too. You just might get some funny looks. But yeah, geocaching. So there's an app that you can download and it takes you to a whole bunch of different places where you find different size treasures. The difficulty is different. Sometimes it's like hidden in a fence. Sometimes it's part of a light pole. But then you sign a log and you get tokens for however many you've done. And the cool thing is that you can do it nationwide. So I'm pretty sure it's all over the world, but I haven't confirmed that. But like I was in Arizona visiting my grandparents, and we went geocaching, and we found a token in Arizona and came and put it in a geocache in Virginia, and people track them, and it's fun. It's like a treasure hunt. So you can find it anywhere, and all you have to do is download the app, and it takes you all over the place. So it's fun.
Is that something where like you're driving to, or are you walking? Like, what does that look like?
It's completely different. Some of them are just on the roadside. There's actually one in the parking lot at Wegmans here right by our house. And then there's some that are in national forests, and so you have to walk the trail, and people go through all sorts of, they make them really cool. Some of them are puzzles that you have to like find the clues to find the puzzles so that you can find the location of them. Sometimes it's just simple for kids to find. There's one in my parents' neighborhood that they took a bucket and they painted it so it looked like tree bark. So when you're driving down the road, it just looks like a stump on the side of the road, but really it's a bucket, and you can go and find all toys and stuff. So my kids have a special geocaching bag, really cool. Some of those Hot Wheels and marbles and stuff that they can trade. And it's fun. It's just a treasure hunt. So it's a lot of fun, and it kills time, and it gets us out of the house, and it's neat.
Nice. It sounds like a fun bonding time and something they can build on, right? So you said they're collecting different points and tokens, so something cool they can kind of do there.
What's the coolest thing you ever found doing that?
I really like the trackables, the ones that you can pull it up on your app and figure out exactly all the different places that it's been, and those things are cool. My son found a collectible Hot Wheel car. Like you can pull it up, and it's the one that is no longer made, so he has it, and it's just different things. There's just lots of different, I don't know, there's just lots of different things. So
There's all kinds of craziness they put out there too. Don't they do it like where you can find artifacts from, like I think there's like arrowheads and stuff like that too. People have done. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so you can set on the app, you can set how difficult you want it to be, and the size of the find that you want it to be. They have micros that are really, really, really tiny, and it looks like a screw head, and it may be like, we found one on a bench where it looks like it's part of the bench, but really you just pull it out and it's a little tiny log. So they have all different sizes, but we typically stick to like the regular size that has toys in it because the kids like it the most. And then the level of difficulty, we set it so that they can find it. So, but I've gone with my mom before, and we've done like the really difficult ones, and where you have to like crack the puzzle. There's one where you walk through a graveyard and you have to take dates from people's births and deaths, and that gives you coordinates to get to somewhere else. Like,
Sweet.
It's neat. It's fun.
It sounds, what is that? What is it? Escape room, I think, is the big thing, right? It sounds like almost like a real life, escape room, type deal.
Yeah, it's cool. It is.
That's
But
awesome.
it's like that, only out in nature. So it's neat.
I love it. Geocaching. What's the app? Is it just geocaching?
Geocaching. Yeah. I'll put a link in our I'll put a link on our website so that it's easy for people to find.
Nice. Hey, thanks for sharing, Shelby. That's great. Luke, what do you got for us? Luke, you've got an interesting perspective because you don't actually live in the DMV. You are from Austin.
I am actually in Austin, Texas now. So I still work virtually for the company, still help facilitate with our clients and our agents, and love being, in the 21st century where I can do that. I do have a unique perspective because I have 4 kids under the age of 12, and we do 2 of the major things that tourists do every time we're in DC, which is a couple times a year, obviously. Obviously hang out with a wonderful team and the people around us and our family, but we absolutely love the fact that there is a free zoo in DC. My kids love that not only is it a free zoo there in DC, but it is one of the largest conservations for panda care. They are doing a phenomenal job at re-exposing pandas to the wild and creating that. My kids love it. Now my wife, she loves elephants, and it is one of the few places we can go yearly to see live elephants as well. So that is always a huge thing. I think every time we've been there, we either have gone to the zoo or we've always gone to the Jefferson and the MLK museums. Those are always the 2 big museums we hit. There's a lot of things to do downtown, seeing the Smithsonian stuff, but we always hit the MLK. What an amazing monument to him.
Yeah.
And my kids love it being right there on the water. It's just a beautiful view. It's just, again, and it gives them perspective. And that's the same thing with the Jefferson. They love it over there. We play tag, we run around. It's a beautiful park. There's some nice walking areas. But those are the 2 biggest things, man. We love going to the zoo there. We love seeing a lot of the free stuff, especially, those two specific museums. Highly recommend.
Was Kirsten tuned in to the Panda Cam when the panda was having the baby here in DC? I don't know if you recall that.
Yeah, the Panda Cam is huge. We definitely watched. There was a lion one as well. So again, just speak volumes about the enjoyment. I will say, if you've never been to the DC Zoo, wear shoes. And if you got kids that can walk, please make them, because it is on a hill all the way, both ways.
Have you ever been to the zoo and not worn shoes?
Yeah.
Yes, I've wore flip-flops, and that's not a good thing. Especially when you're pushing 4 kids in strollers, it can become very difficult.
We do know when someone's from Ohio when they say flip-flops, by the way.
Sandals. I like sandals. Yes, flip-flops.
You
Apologize.
could have said tongs, right?
Thongs. No, those are other things. So yeah, the zoo there is built on a hill. It is very, very steep at times, but it is great exercise. And if you have kids under 12, they will get tired of walking. And it will be when you go down the hill, they'll want to get carried up the hill. So my suggestion would be start low, go high.
So Luke, what is your favorite thing at the zoo?
Actually, it's always been the lion. We like cheetahs and lions. We're a cat family on the larger scale and a dog family on the home life.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
I love it. Thanks for sharing that. Masi, what do you got for us?
So I'm actually like, I really like outdoors, and for like I have a lot of family living in this area, but they didn't know about the Great Falls because they were like super skeptical. They were like, it's just another local park or something. But then I told them that just go and take a look, and now they love it, and they want to go there like almost every week, because I feel like a lot of people don't really pay attention to it. But like I think when you go there and you take a look at it, it's actually a really cool place for a family, or if you just want to go there and hang out with your friends. And for me personally, I just really like the sound of the water there, to just go and sit close by. There's not a lot of traffic or anything. You can just go in there and sit. If you want to work, you can work. If you want to read a book or you just want to relax, I think it's just really good. And also, it's only like $15 per vehicle. So you can actually go with your family, and there's a bunch of other places in there that you can actually walk. There's trails, and also there's like chairs and benches that you can sit and have a picnic with your family.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, at Great Falls there, they have the Potomac that's running through. Then there are a number of actual like waterfalls that are going, and just a whole bunch of different rocks that are in there. It really is. There's some cool paths and just a couple of like the cliffs that overhang it. They're probably maybe like 60 feet up or something, but just some really cool views over there. A lot of kayakers who are down in the water, and it's always something fun. And you're right, you can always find a nice little private spot to chill, relax, meditate, read, just hang out. I absolutely love it over there. I agree.
Because a lot of
go watch those guys tumble down the rapids too, right? You can do some of the kayaks and they go flying off over the rapids, and sometimes it's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. What were you gonna say, Missy?
I said like a lot of time people think that if they want to go to a place like that, they have to drive for hours. But honestly, it's when you go there, you don't really feel you're in the DMV area. You feel like you're in a really far place and somewhere else where there's nobody around you. But again, it's only 20 miles from.
Yeah, we got 10 million people plus in this DC, the DMV area, but yet you can retreat to a beautiful little park oasis there with some amazing views, just right in our backyard, literally, so. And that was the point of all this, right, is to highlight how many cool things we have right here in the DMV that whether you're visiting or you live here, you can do. So cool. Anything else with that, Missy?
No, that's it.
Yeah, I definitely highly recommend Great Falls Park. I've been there on a number of occasions. So thanks for sharing that, Missy. Matt, what do you got on your front?
Yeah, so a little bit similar to Missy. It's going to be outdoors, but I'm sharing a little gem in Clifton called Hemlock Grove. I actually found this place because of a friend a couple years ago. I love hiking, and it's always so far, kind of like Missy, right? You have to go up to Great Falls. That can be up a hike. Going down to Shenandoah, that can be a day trip. And he told me there's a place about a mile, maybe 2 miles away from the city of Clifton called Hemlock Grove. And since I found it, it has been one of my favorite places to go. Very short hike. It's a little under 4 miles. It'd take you about 2.5 hours, maybe 3, depending on how fast you want to go. And it is great. It goes right by the Occoquan. There's Bull Run right there. And so, and it's flat as well. A lot of these places similar like Great Falls and the Shenandoah, you have these big rock scrambles and heights. It's pretty flat, easy. If you want to go canoeing, you can go canoeing. If you just want to go for a jog, you can go for a jog. If you want to hike the whole thing, you definitely can. And the great thing about Hemlock Grove is it's right near the city of Clifton, and so there's so much stuff you can do right after hiking. You can go in the morning, and you can still have the whole day, or you can go at the end of the day and still have the whole rest of the day to do stuff. And so Paradise Wine Springs is literally maybe a Pebbles stone throw away from there. Like I said, the Old Town Clifton is great. We've got the old railroad track right there. You've got my favorite ice cream place, Peterson's Ice Cream there.
So good.
Yeah. I mean,
I was wondering if you were going to mention Peterson's. I do love that Old Town Clifton.
Ice cream.
Trumer's is right down in there as well.
Trumer's is right there. Trattoria Villaggio, if you want to go out for dinner. That's great. They've got, Trumer's there too. They got the old general store too, if you want to pick up some stuff. So a lot of great things you can make it a day. Like I said, 3 hours there, and then you got the whole rest of the day to spend out there in Old Town Clifton.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, Old Town Clifton is really cool. That hike definitely sounds like something you could, knock a few hours out and then come back and either, like you said, enjoy some wine and maybe some lunch, or if you did it later in the afternoon, grab dinner, or vice versa, maybe grab some food and drink and then enjoy an afternoon hike. So that's awesome. Tell me the name of it one more time, Matt.
Hemlock Grove.
Hemlock Grove over there, Old Town Clifton. So perfect.
There's a lot of history down there too.
Yeah,
like
I said,
historic buildings and things. Yeah,
city's been there forever, so it's really cool. A lot of historic buildings here. You can drive around there.
Love it. Thanks for sharing, Matt. Sam, let's see if we can. There you go. I got you unmuted there. Perfect. So Sam, you've been in the area a little while. You've been in and out, and so you've got a great perspective on the area too. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, so one of my favorite activities in like the summer and fall is always going fruit picking. And it's a great activity with social distancing going on. There's one farm called Wegmeyer Farms, and they actually have 3 different locations throughout Northern Virginia. So it's shouldn't be a super far drive for anyone. And they have strawberry picking right now. Only difference with COVID going on is you have to make a reservation in advance, but just a fun activity, nice scenic drive out there. And I went there last year and had literally some of the best strawberries I'd ever had. So
I love it. And you get to pick your own. They give you what, a basket to take out?
Yep, they give you a basket and you basically just get to fill it up and you pay by the basket. So yeah, it's a fun activity, gets you outside. It's a good time. So
did they teach you, right? I'm not, Ryan's gonna laugh, right? But I'm not the most foodie person, right? So like, did they teach you what a ripe strawberry is, like what you should be looking for, and give you a little bit out? They just say, here's a basket, good luck, and go pick some good ones.
They kind of just give you, I mean, maybe they do offer that. For me, it was more just, I'm going to look at the strawberry and try it. And if it's good, then I know it's ripe. You don't want one that's—
And if not, you just put it back?
Yeah, just throw it back.
The little kid behind you, he'll pick it up and eat it. Don't worry.
Yeah, for sure.
Take a little bite out of the strawberry and like, so a bit my strawberry.
Right. And another,
Is there a cost to it, Sam?
There is. I don't know the exact, it was pretty affordable. It was something per basket, but nothing.
But I meant it's free to go. You just pay per basket.
Right, exactly.
Oh, awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then one other place I went to last year, which I thought would be great to go to this year too with Corona, is a drive-in movie theater. It's called the Family Drive-In. It's in Frederick County. It's about an hour outside of DC, but it's definitely worth the drive. It's just a fun, like, retro drive-up movie theater. They offer movies, I think, every day of the week except for Mondays and Tuesdays. So, and they have popcorn and food, and it's just a fun time. So
it's a classic old school throwback drive-in movie theater, right?
Yep. It's huge too. I think it was like 500 cars is like their capacity. So it's a big one. So
you said it was in Frederick
right now too, because that's what it's been like since movie theaters haven't been open. I was reading that, the whole drive-in movie theater is like the new fad back in the game. So that's really, really cool.
Not a country person, but Garth Brooks is using that to promote himself in drive-ins right now, doing concerts for free.
Oh, wow.
Really?
When's he
For all
coming?
you Garth Brooks country fans out there, he's got a drive-in thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
All right.
You love him. Don't even pretend like you don't.
You know a lot about Garth Brooks for someone who doesn't like Garth Brooks.
Exactly. My point exactly, Matt.
But to the defense of that, don't we all know the words to the songs we hate most? You know, so there's a balance in there.
Friends in low places.
That's it. So awesome, Sam. So strawberry picking and drive-in movie theater. I'm sure that Christy is going to be having a task of things for me to do now. So
I have not done that either, actually, either one of them. I haven't been to a drive-in movie theater since I was a kid, and I definitely haven't gone and picked strawberries. Maybe Sylvia can go with the kids and pick strawberries, and we'll go play golf. But
perfect. Was that Strawberry Falls or something? Is there a golf course out there?
that's exactly right. Yeah, raspberry.
Strawberry.
Yeah, we're gonna go pick raspberries. Yeah, good
Yeah,
call.
yeah. Why does Daddy keep yelling 4? Who knows? I
When
love
he
it.
picks
Thanks.
4 strawberries. 4!
That's right.
I got 4.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Sam.
All right.
Jess, what do you got for us?
Okay, so I live in Haymarket, and there is just about 2 miles from my house, which is very convenient. There is a brewery called the Farm Brewery at Broad Run. It's a very long name. There are lots of breweries and wineries and distilleries, cideries, all of those things in the DMV. It's literally loaded with them. But this one I really like because right now they are open. They have an outdoor bar and tons of outdoor seating that they have spaced apart for everyone. And they are one of the only places right now where you can see live music. They are on the weekends. They are having bands come in. They have food trucks come in. It's a really nice laid back. They not only have beer, they also have wine and hard ciders. They also do some like wine slushy drinks and stuff, the fancy stuff on the weekends. So definitely check it out. And I also saw when I was looking into this that they just started some kind of axe throwing thing, which sounds like it could be a fun family, team building, whatever kind of event.
What could go wrong with alcohol and axes together?
Exactly. Nothing.
I'll schedule our team event now, okay?
We'll meet you there in 10 minutes, right? But yeah, so they are open. I would definitely check the website just for in case there are any COVID updates as things kind of get reopened here. But they're a cool little spot. It's a lot of fun. Been there quite a few times with my friends, and it's always been a good time.
Yeah, on our team, getting axed has a little bit different terminology to it.
That's true.
It's a little bit more lethal than, just the regular, you got the axe.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome. Right in Haymarket. That is cool. I actually haven't been there. It's right in our backyard too. So
Yeah, it is. It's like maybe a mile further past Walmart on 55, John Marshall Highway. So it's a good location.
So we can go to the brewery and then go to Silver Lake. Like, I mean,
You
that's
could, yeah. It's like a mile down there. Yeah.
You're giving Phil Ryan ideas.
On your way back from
I
strawberries.
gotta go, guys. I'll see you later.
And hey, you can bring a tent and pitch a tent in my backyard and sleep out there if you want, because I'm literally like a mile up the road. So
there you go. We
Yeah.
could get the hike, the strawberries, and the alcohol,
That's
and
right.
the
And the live
camping
music.
experience all in one swoop. I love it. I love it. Well, last I've got what I had was 2 things. One was Skyline Drive, right? So those of you who are lazy but love scenic views and like to maybe experience some of our national parks that are out there, Skyline Drive it's over 100 miles long. There's like, I don't know, 70, 80 plus different like overlook sites where you got some great photography and photo ops. Just some beautiful scenery. You see a lot of wild animals, to be honest, as you drive through there. Like I said, with over 100 miles, it goes through Shenandoah National Park and the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's just a really cool place. There have been times where, I don't want to be in the house anymore, right? And I know a lot of you guys on here and out there listening, you may have kids or whatever, right? Sometimes you just want to get in a car and go for a drive. And it is really cool to have something that beautiful and that nice of a drive where you can just kind of cruise through the whole park there and take it all in and just feel really relaxed and serene. So on the park level, I would definitely say do Skyline Drive. The other thing that I had was Manassas Battlefield, right? I literally live less than 10 minutes, 5 minutes from this place. And it's really interesting to have grown up in Ohio, and you hear all the stories about, you know, the Battle of Bull Run and Manassas battlefield, right? And now I live right there where it happened. And so it's very cool just to go down there. They've got, you know, hundreds and hundreds of acres that are open to where all the battles happen. They've got different historical markers. You can take dogs there, kids there. You can go solo. They've got running paths, hiking paths, horse paths. I mean, any and everything you could think of to kind of do out there. When COVID lifts again, like we've all said, you know, I mean, they have some restrictions, but they've got guided tours. They do reenactments, you know, I mean, there's just a lot, you know, that is happening out there, and it's right here. So if you're looking to maybe go out and just have some outdoor fun and experience a little bit of what has happened in American history and see what it's like and try to put yourself there, like, it's very interesting to stand on top of one hill and look across there where they say, this is where, you know, 50,000, you know, Union soldiers lined up against 50,000 Confederate soldiers. Like, you're just standing there thinking about this. Man, these people were lined up and they weren't getting much more than maybe 10 to 20 yards apart, firing these musket balls at each other. And you're just thinking, man, absolutely crazy. And just the fog that fills it from the smoke of the guns, and you're just thinking, this is just sitting on this. And it's you know, if you really step back and take it all in, and there are a lot of people who paid a high price to have the things that we have and the opportunities that we have, and it's cool that's just in our backyard to maybe go experience that. And I think with everything that's happening, it's also a good time to dig back into our roots and understand where this country came from, what it was founded on, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's an opportunity over at Bull Run, you know, Battlefield, Manassas Park, to be able to take some of that in. So those are my two recommendations there.
And when you go to Skyline Drive, Phil, there's places that are really, really high too, right? Like, you get up there and you can look over the whole valley in some of those spots, and that's a wild experience too.
There's some panoramic views. You're almost seeing 360 in the whole direction. Like I said, it's part of that Blue Ridge Mountain there. So, I mean, there are some really spectacular views that you can absolutely see. So, you know, iPhone photos, selfies, or if you're a professional photographer and you like some really great, you know, photo scenes, you've got some great stuff to shoot back there. Obviously, I think fall is the best time. Leaves are changing, and that overlook is absolutely gorgeous there to see some of that there. So that's what I've got. That's what we've got. Any final comments from any of you guys? Is there anything we missed or we need to add on to out there?
I don't think so necessarily. I will say that on the brewery thing, do they have like cornhole or any of those types of things for the kids and stuff, Jess?
I don't know if they do right now because of, you know, the
True. Yeah.
touching things and distance and everything, but they typically do. Yes, they have cornhole. They have a big field where they can play ball and stuff like that. But I don't know right now. I haven't been there in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
There was one thing I did forget to add though. They have drive-in pickup service. So you can order your beer or wine online and they'll have it ready to put in your car in about 20 minutes.
Awesome.
I've done that.
Right on. And Shelby, on the geocaching thing, I had a question. Do they do it out in the fields and stuff too, or is it pretty much like in the shopping area spots, or is it both?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Ryan, you and I kind of live similar, close to each other. There's a path that runs behind. There's a geocache on that path, like out in the swamp area.
Really?
They're everywhere. They are literally everywhere.
The last one we did here, there was somebody that took it in the, you know, the backstop of your baseball field, the pipe fence. They took the cap off and slid it in there and then put the cap back on. So you had to go in and like pull all the caps off the metal fencing to find it.
I just love that people keep that going. That's just, I think that's a really cool thing to do. So, yeah.
The layman's version is it's Pokemon for kids.
Yeah, there's
Pokemon ain't lame. Take that back.
Where they actually get together and meet, and they have like they set up different competitions. So like the Ninja Turtle one just came through where you had to collect all these different things to get the full set of Ninja Turtles, and then that got you an ultimate prize and stuff. And it's just about collecting badges. You don't, for the most part, it's not about collecting an actual item. It's just achieving like the next level, like, you know, so leveling up or whatever. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
You guys ever ran into someone like, that's mine, Jude, that's mine, give that back. Like, right when you catch up to them.
Get into fights.
When you sign up for it, part of the rules is that you have to be incognito. You don't want anybody around you to know what you're doing. So there's a 7-Eleven that has a fence around the dumpster, and workers will come at lunchtime and sit under the tree by those dumpsters and eat. And there was a geocache there. So we pretended like we were taking around the boys' potty, and went around the corner and found the geocache, but you can't let anybody see you. And that's like, my boys love it because they get to be ninjas, right? Real life ninjas. They can't let anybody see them. And it's all about being secretive, and that's part of the fun. So it's neat.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
You gotta dress up with a little brown bag, go sit next to them like the workers, like you're just working, while you slowly download the geocache, right?
It's neat. There's
Da-na,
actually
da-na.
I'm gonna go fix this pipe here real fast.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
guys,
in the brown bag?
the geocache, that's what's in there, the prize. Well, guys, thank you for sharing. And the other thing is, I'd be remiss if I didn't give you all shout outs. This group of people, for those listening, right, this group of people here sells, over the last couple of years, sold more than 150 homes. And the reason that things go so smoothly and you guys out there have an amazing experience is because of every one of these people on this call right here, right now. From the initial meet to where Luke maybe meets them, to everything that's rolling through, from setting a listing up to closing on the file, which is what Shelby and Samantha do, to the agents from myself and Ryan and Massey, who are handling everything in the in between, and then Matt on the back end, who is handling the concierge from the time you actually purchase or sell a home to the time you're ready to do it again. And the reason all of this can run smooth is because Jess is appropriately put right in the middle. That makes all of this thing run really, really well. So this is a team that really has helped us to elevate our service, elevate the deliverance that we can give to you guys in terms of buying and selling a home. And we're super, super excited to serve. And I'm super proud of all you guys on this call. So thanks for being amazing people and serving our people to the nth degree. With that, our hot tip for the day, Ryan, is make sure you listen to all the tips that we just gave and go do them.
Yep. And share everything else you guys have out there as well. We know a lot about the area, but if any of you listening or watching have any other places, it'd be really fun to mention to the people that we speak to. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, we've got a fundraiser that's going on for Carried to Full Term. So if you listen this long, thanks for sticking around. We'd love it if you maybe hit up our link. We are trying to raise money for Carried to Full Term, a local charity. Check out our YouTube channel, subscribe to that. If you haven't liked our Facebook page, get there. We're on Instagram as well. And other than that, guys, we are never too busy for any of your referrals. So if you know anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest, make sure to put us in touch with them. The last thing we want to hear is someone had a tough experience in terms of a real estate transaction. So thanks for tuning in. Bye from all of us here at the Nomus Group.
Bye.